Just got my ECU back from Burton Racing. There's a week turnaround time. Fair pricing too. Got it all in stock. A bunch of fuel of goodies here. Look at that, Tiger. Oh, that's cool. Air freshener. Key tag. Bam. Doesn't matter. Probably disclaimer notice. 10 days at delivery. Inspect the contents. Yep, just got it yesterday. And there is my ECU in its original packaging. Got out them apples. Crack this baby open. There she is. My automatic P06 is now converted to a Honda with VTEC. Awesome. EK is almost ready to rip, man. Got to finish putting the motor together. I got sick, so I had to take some time off. Wife was in the hospital. A whole bunch of crap I'll explain later. But yeah, I'm excited. Almost there. What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I've done a video. I got sick. Wife got sick. It was a whole mess. Back in the shop, garage, working. I got the motor pretty much assembled. I have pictures I can post, but I didn't take any videos. I had a couple friends over. They were just helping me knock this thing out. So I got the head on yesterday. I got off the stand. I got a bunch of parts put on it. I went and stopped by and picked up a bunch of my parts out of the storage car. So I got those I'm ready to put on. Having a problem trying to get some parts. Unfortunately, it's the older Hondas it's what you run into now. I did have an OEM brand new in the bag, axle seal though, so that saves me a little bit of hassle. Went ahead and cleaned up the transmission. It's nice and clean. I already got the release bearing in. Everything's greased up. All I need is to replace the two seals. Really, I can throw the transmission on the motor. Got the shifter I'm going to put on this one. I got the parts to replace these pieces. Clean up the covers. Get those on the motor. It's just coming along. Drove this yesterday. It's hurting. It's ready for, an engine rework as well. I just started it up and pulled it out of the garage and it didn't want to run. So that's next on the list. But yeah, sorry on the lack of updates. It's just been, I got the ick and visiting my wife in the hospital who had kidney stones, and then she got the ick. So it was 2 weeks of just suck. But I'm back on my feet, working in the garage again. Oh yeah, the EK broke today. That was cool. Took it around and the shifter fell apart. Never seen that happen before. I was like, all right. Thankfully my thumb still works, but then it threw a code for the idle air control valve, which is the first code that I had when I first got the car, and it had not come back since I cleared that code. So it's giving me signs. It's ready to go. I've already got 93 fuel on it, so I'm ready for the swap. And it's just a matter of getting the rest of this stuff sorted out and together. So. Figured I'll just give you a quick update. Getting ready to do the TLDK. I'm currently in my attic doing some part shopping for the car. And you see it's a fully accessible attic. It's the best thing about this house. So dropped off the Cirax. with a buddy. It's nice, safe, and secure. I don't have to worry about it for a little bit, because the game plan is to get the teal car done and then bring Chico's car in back and get all that done as well. So that car's probably gonna be sitting there for a little bit, but it's safe. So right now I'm just grabbing the rest of the odds and ends that I need to kind of get the swap going. Game plans to start tearing it apart tomorrow. Today's Thursday. We'll see what happens. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the stuff and bring it down now. Here's some of the parts. Basically, I only need it for the throttle bodies, for the manifolds, and sensors. Thinking about putting the red cover on it. We'll see. I think the black might look better. Hordes of parts and Christmas stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff back there too. Even up here, I even got RSX parts up here from my old car. So, what's going on, guys? It's the next day. We're working on the motor. Got the transmission attached to it. Got the intake manifold on. Changed the throttle body. Removed the fast idle throttle valve that was on the throttle body that it came with. So basically, it came with this throttle body on that manifold that I got, and it doesn't have a map port sensor. So this is like off old, like first gen B16 maybe. I don't know, but it was on the ITR manifold that I'm using on that. So I deleted that. So I had another stock throttle body, threw it on, swapped the sensors over from the Edelbach throttle body. I'm reusing the oil line that it came with this motor. I don't know if I'm going to regret that or not. Hopefully it doesn't leak. But it just goes to the oil, what used to be the oil sensor, so now the oil sensor's on the T-fitting. I had this OEM hose, so I popped that on. I'm going to probably put some slaving so it doesn't chafe through the oil line. Other than that, I'm not running coolant lines to here. I don't do that on the other car, so it'll be fine. Other than that, I have a little hack for PCV. So I picked up a little valve, one-way valve. I'm going to be putting in between that hose and those two nipples. Transmission's on, everything bolted up nicely, starter's already on. All I gotta do is pull the EK in. So I'm getting ready to pull the EK in and start tearing this thing apart. I got a couple hours, well, actually I have an hour before work, so I'm gonna see how far I can get. I pulled most of the intake pipe off and stuff like that. Pulled the engine harness off that I can. I gotta do everything down there. Still gotta drain the fluids. I just jacked it up, took the wheels off. I'm out of time today. I pulled the steering hose off, pulled some vacuum lines off. I'm retaining cruise control, so I just pulled all that stuff, put it off to the side. That's about as far as I got today. Tomorrow, should be out on the ground. Hopefully nobody comes and picks it up, gets it on my way, because I have this much space to work with. So, it's a little tight in here. This is the fun part about builds, tearing stuff apart. So, yeah, I'm not putting a time limit on it. I'm hoping that if everything goes smoothly, I can have it done in like a couple days. But like I said, I'm not putting a time limit on it. There's absolutely no rush. I have other vehicles I can drive. So I have other work I'm doing on this as well as I'm doing the engine. I'm replacing the steering rack. I have a steering wheel to install. I have to do the manual conversion, so I gotta cut the tunnel. quick update. I got the motor out, I'm working on it. It's right there. Pedals are installed. Shifter's out. I gotta cut the tunnel. I just fought getting the steering rack out, which that was an absolute pain in the butt. Ended up having to take the inner tie rod on the driver's side off. So I'm getting ready to mock up the new one. I'm going to clean up the grime that's in the engine bay. It's pretty bad down there. I guess my axle blew out as well. It was power steering leaking for 6 months. I'll wipe all that down real quick. Get the steering rack in, and maybe I'll put the motor in tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It's still kind of early. Alright, just a recap for today. I got the engine out. I got the steering rack replaced. I cleaned the engine bay. Got all the grime out of it. Actually, it looks pretty good. What else? Got the pedals installed. I got the shifter out. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to cut the tunnel. I'll take this radiator out because I have an aluminum dual core to put in. And then it's pretty much put the motor back in. And start buttoning everything up. I don't think I'm going to take the exhaust off. I ordered an exhaust. Don't know when it's going to be here, but I don't think that that's going to work with the header I have. I'll check it first before I rip it off, but I know the size is definitely wrong. Yeah, all I gotta do is kind of wipe the AC compressor down, and oh man, it's just been a busy day. Pulled the evap can out. I'm gonna loop the line from the tank here. I'll loop that line to that port down there. That's where the tank used to vent to, so I'm just going to do a direct vent down there. And hopefully there will be no fumes in the bay. Yeah, she's coming along pretty good, guys. Ugh, sorry, I'm tired. It's almost 2:20 in the morning, so been at this since 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I took the alarm out. There was an alarm in the car that was, I think, affecting my headlights, to be honest with you. I'll find out. But I bought a switch just in case it is the switch. I have a steering wheel to put in. I don't know when I'm going to do that yet, but I picked up a steering wheel. So I'm getting a cluster. I'm selling my buddy the single cam setup, and he's throwing a cluster in for the price. So I got to take a couple accessories off of this because that's a brand new alternator that can save for Chico's car. I don't know about the distributor. I'll have to look that up, but I'll probably let it go with the motor. I also have to mock up. I have a couple AC brackets to mount the B series to the single cam compressor. So I have to check to make sure I have one that works. Other than that, the only thing I didn't do was take out this throttle cable, the stock one. I don't know if it works or not yet, so I didn't want to take it out until I found out. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I look rough. I've cleaned up twice today too. Yeah, that's about it for tonight. I don't want to make any more noise. I don't want to start cutting things. It's, like I said, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. This is my rest of the stash of parts are just sitting in here. So I have everything. The driver's side mount is busted, but I have a Cusco torque mount I'm going to use in the meantime for the driver's side underneath. And then I have a good torque mount for the passenger side. And the other mounts are good. The training mount's good and the rear mount's good, so I don't have to worry about that. Yes, I am using stock mounts. It's my daily. That's it. That's it. Oh yeah, I started cleaning the hood too, but I started wiping that down because it is nasty. I got carried away, turned around and started wiping the hood down. I was like, oh, you know, let me finish the steering rack, because that was the one thing I was dreading, and I didn't record it because there was just a lot of nonsense that happened with it. Basically, I swapped. The only way I could get this rack out was I had to take the inner driver's side out and tie rod. I could not get it out without taking that tie rod off. And of course, to get it on, I had to take tie rod off. And I do rack, so I had to take tie rod off. So I had to fight this bellow like crazy. Originally, I took it off, no problem. Put it on, no problem. I was putting the stupid vent nipple hose on, and the nipple fell into the bellow. So I had to rip the bellow off, find it, pop it back on, fight the bellow back on, get it back on, and then the bellow nipple ripped out of it. I was like, oh, all right. So I was able to pop it back in, but that was a battle. And the whole rack was a battle, and it was the one thing I was dreading, but it's done. The hoses are tight at the rack itself. This was sweating, so I'm not sure if it's the clamps, because these clamps suck. I have different clamps. I'm gonna try and put on this hose. I looked up the hose on it's like $45 for this stupid double bend hose. So if anything, I'll get some generic hose and just attach it if it still leaks. But I think that's something I can deal with once the motor's in the car too. But other than that, we're gonna put some clamps on that, and hopefully it'll tighten up and it'll be all right. So just come along. Can't wait to drive it. Can't wait to see how this feels. It's B20V tech. I know it was a rocket in the CRX, so it should be mild. And a bigger body, heavy car. Alright, well that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I'll get back on it tomorrow. And the game plan is to get the motor back in the car. See what happens. Alright, till tomorrow guys.